Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Karlis. I am CEO and co-founder of company Webviews, and today we will talk about the chatbots and user experience, how to build a great chatbot. And the first thing is I'd like to ask you, did you already try the Dev Day chatbot on your Facebook Messenger? If not, probably you can do that right now, because during the presentation, I will show some examples on that chatbot, so we will see things in action. Okay, let's start. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. So my name is Karlis. Originally, I'm from Latvia. Now already 3 years. More than 3 years, I live in Brussels. And 1 year ago, we formed a startup company in Brussels. And since then, we work on chatbots. So I really like new things. I really like to dream about new things. But most of what I really like to make these things happen in real life. About me, so I have more than 15 years experience in IT. Before I worked in companies which implemented the CRM systems. I was founder for the App Studio. And now we already delivered more than 30 chatbots for the different customers, for different industries. So mainly we work on 2 chatbots, which is the Guideweiser. This is the chatbot specifically for the hotel industry. Another chatbot is what you can test right now. It's the Dev Day chatbot, and these are the chatbots for events, conferences, festivals. And we also won Emakina Chatbot Hackathon last year with one cool chatbot. That was the chatbot for the treasure game creation. And it's the name Enigma, but it's still in the prototype phase. It's not delivered and live. And we also have we build the custom projects. I'm also a founder of the Brussels Chatbot Meetup. It's a great community of chat builders and people who are interested in the chatbots. So if you are in Brussels or you're also in Mons, then just subscribe for this meetup group, and I think we will organize next meetup in January. There will be great topics, so follow. And in short about the company, so we help companies to improve and innovate communication, and we're offering what is the service platform, so which is powered by artificial intelligence and chatbot technology. Okay, that's short introduction and agenda. But before we start, probably I just like to understand who is in the audience. Who are the developers Okay, who are the designers? Who are the product owners? Okay. Good, and there is probably someone from the business part, marketing and sales. Okay, this is the Dev Day conference. Agenda. So, first of all, I'd like to a bit explain why now the chatbots are important, what's happening, what the statistics show about the chatbot market and chatbot in general. Then the next is the first step to build great chatbots. It's to prepare with the good plan. Then how to design and how to prototype the chatbots. So I will show examples and also share some information about some tools. If I'm not holding the microphone very well, then just say, hey, Karlis, speak in microphone. So then I'm not a developer, so I'm more product owner. I'm more the link between developers and the business part. So I can understand when the business guys say, we need great chatbot, and then I can translate this to the developers. Otherwise, there is misunderstanding what is the great chatbot and how it should look like and how it should work. So, and then, of course, the important part is about how to test and measure the chatbots. And at the end, if there will be enough time, I will also speak about some trends in the chatbot world, what we can expect in 2018. Okay, let's start. So, what is the chatbot? And my answer is that chatbots are the future of customer experience. And the chatbots have the power to replace search window, hello Google, and many apps in not so distant future. When there was the first hype about the chatbots, then there was a lot of articles in the internet. Chatbots will kill the apps, and all app builders should go to the chatbots. And today we see kind of reality check. We have some learnings. I will share this, but still, my belief is that end user looks for something simple. He looks for one app to do everything, and to do so, we need to do it properly. So another important thing is what to understand that chatbot is more than conversational interface, and the thing which works on your messenger or the Slack or Telegram or other technologies. So actually, what we see, the chatbot is just the small part of the iceberg, and there is the AI, IoT, NLP, big data, natural language understanding, APIs, which help to build these great chatbots. And but of course, end user, he doesn't care about that one. This is where we develop things and make it happen to show this. The user can ask one question, and he expect one simple answer. But to do that, there is a lot of technologies behind the curtain. So the next question, why no? I think who saw this graph before? Okay, this is a very interesting graph. Why? It just says that today people using 4 major messaging apps more than social networks. And this is what is important to understand, that people today use these apps and the way of communication more than just classical social networks. And I just asked myself, when I sent last time the email to my friends and family, and actually I don't remember. I use daily, and I think also when you send the last message to your friends and family, did you send it today? Yes. So it shows that people really are on these channels, and they are ready to use, and they expect that they can do not just communication, but they can do more things on messaging apps. And this is where chatbot comes in, because the chatbots, what can they can help to do these things faster and simpler. Another thing, if we look at which are the most popular messaging apps, then we see that today actually it's the Messenger and the WhatsApp, they are even. And of course, these two messaging apps, WhatsApp and Messenger, are owned by Facebook. And today, Messenger is open for developers to build the chatbots. With the WhatsApp, there is rumors that there will be also API and will be possibility to connect to this messaging app too. So today we concentrate mainly on Facebook because we offer for some customers like the Viber or Kik or the Skype, but we see that there is not enough users at the moment for these specific channels. And then we can see just that how fast actually the Facebook Messenger is growing, and Facebook invests a lot to get more and more users on that specific channel. So this is the big opportunity to build apps. And also there's research, are users and specifically millennials ready to use the chatbot? And there's the question, so are they ready to buy something via messaging apps? And the research also showed that they are okay. If it works, I'm ready to work on that channel. So why users love the chatbots, and what are our also learnings? First of all, if we compare chatbots with the classical apps, the first important thing that the app is already on the phone. So please raise your hand if there's the Facebook Messenger on your phone. So I would say it's 85% of the audience, and it's really challenging these days to get people to install your mobile app on the phone. With the Facebook Messenger, you just go in the contacts, or you click on the link and you start a conversation. Another important thing is that there is no need to create an account. Remember the password, you just use it. And of course, it's faster adaptation of interface, because the people know how to use these messaging apps. But there's another thing why they do not use chatbots. And in the same time, really challenging is to inform people about the chatbots, that there is a chatbot, you can do that, you can chat with that, and this is work for the marketing and sales guys. Then there is specifically for, I would say, for the older people, they have some concerns, objective concerns regarding the privacy. They say, I don't have a Facebook, I don't like to be on the Facebook, and I'm not ready to use the technology. And of course, there is another thing, when they are on the chatbots, then there is sometimes bad experience, because there is too high expectations. And then we will talk about the artificial intelligence and what it is in relations with the chatbots. So, plan. So to achieve things and to get results, we need first of all to plan things, to make and then follow that plan. And regarding to the chatbot, the first question, if you are going to build the chatbot, my first question will be why? Why you really would like to build the chatbot? What's the value you would like to offer to your end user? And then there could be different answers. It's in the event chatbot case, we would like to provide information about the event more easily and faster and simpler. And it's really important to define this value proposition for everyone in the team who works on the chatbot. Then the next thing is objectives and goals. And what we do in our projects, we always set some goals for which could be measurable. So we say, okay, we expect that amount of the users on that specific period. We expect that much messages. We expect so much interactions. And then, when it happens in real life, we really compare our planned objectives and goals with the real performance of the chatbot. And then we can learn out of that. The next thing, when we come to the planning, is to understand who is the persona who will use the chatbot. So when you have we would like to build the best chatbot who will do the good things, and we expect so much users and so much interactions. Then we come to the who's your ideal user. Why it's important? Because here we come to the chatbot, and it's the language. In the chatbot, the main medium how you can communicate is the text, and it's important which style you use, which wording you use, and then we come back to the persona. This is the man, this is the woman, these are the young people, these are the older people, these are the professionals, this is probably the just the kids. So it could be for the different usages, and that's why this persona is really important. Another important thing when you plan the chatbot is understand what channels you plan to use, because when we come to back to the picture with the iceberg, so today the chatbots could be normally on the Facebook Messenger, then there was the Kik, then there's the Telegram, there is the web chat, then there is the Skype. So there's different type of users. But when we come back to the persona, we can actually analyze which users are on which specific channel. And then you can really define that we will build our first version of our chatbot for these specific people on that specific channel. Because these are two different audiences, which is on the Skype and which are on the Facebook Messenger. So it's really important to define. And then the next part is the technology. We will come to that a bit later, but also you should understand what technology you plan to use. And really important, especially if it's an enterprise bot inside the company, then you even if you do not build the integration in the first version of your chatbot, on the value proposition, you define the big picture of your chatbot. And it's important to, when you plan your architecture of your chatbot solution, then you should count, okay, we plan to integrate in the second or the third version of the chatbot with these other systems, third-party systems. And this is very important, also put these things in the plan. Then we come to the to artificial intelligence, and this is my personal learnings when we start the build the chatbots. Then a lot of users think that this is the artificial intelligence, this is the super smart chatbot, and it should be really smart. It should know what is the meaning of the life, and he can be my personal psychologist, and etc. And what are our personal learning? There is a two type of users. There is how to say, tester, who try to challenge the bot. And there is the pragmatic user who actually, when they start using the chatbot, they really expect the chatbot will do the basic things. If you try the dev day chatbot, then actually the reason you are coming to the solution, to the chatbot, not because this is the chatbot, but because you are looking for agenda, or you're looking information about the specific speaker. And these are the main tasks which should be solved by the chatbot, and you should concentrate on these things. There were some projects when the customer who ordered the project said, okay, we should add a a lot of the intents, a lot of questions, a lot of answers. And then what we learned, by end of the day, no one actually looked for that information. That's why we said, okay, the bot should be smart, but you should not promise to your end user, this is an artificial intelligence. Then it should be the efficient, it should be fast, and it should be straight to the point. And when you start the conversation with the bot, it's important also to explain, this is the chatbot, this is the virtual assistant. You can do or get that and that information. And in some projects, we just put information that I'm learning, I'm still a young chatbot, just to lower the expectations of the user. And at the same time, of course, we try to deliver most and best user experience. So then some tips and tricks and tools in the planning part. So it's really important also remember that chatbot is the part of something existing. It's probably is a part of existing process, and you should integrate it in that process. You should also probably build as chatbot as extension of existing product, and it's important to keep it and integrate in this process. Then we come to the identity or personality of the chatbot, and it's another interesting thing which is not happening with the apps and also with the websites. But what you can do with the chatbots, you can really build some personality behind the chatbot. And here I will show you some examples. Sorry. So okay. So this is a DevDay chatbot. In this case, we use the simple personality. It's like the bot or the robot. It's just say, hi Karlis, I'm virtual assistant. I can help you with that and that, and and then he prefer you the specific language to select. Then we can switch to another bot, which also is a event chatbot. But in this case, the customer say, okay, we would like to build a bit different style of and persona. So hello, I'm a Digital Freedom Festival digital catbot. So I can help you also with this. What can I do? And I will also show a bit later with this specific chatbot how they use different style of language, of communication, of pictures, because you can really build unique user experience and communication with your audience. And so this is the one. Then we can say another over chatbot is for Mercedes-Benz. It's is the chatbot where you can configure your next Mercedes, and in their case there is no persona or personality at all. It's just you start a conversation and it goes straight forward for the thing. So this is the up to you, and it's important to discuss with the team also what are the objectives and goals, or this persona will be just for the specific event, or it will be there is some long-term idea behind it. So it's a few examples. Then another important thing is internal support of the chatbot, and there we come a bit to the ethics and will chatbots and artificial intelligence overcome the human. And we see in some projects that there is some, how to say, people scare about it. When they found it, that actually the chatbot can handle the questions which are handled by them today. They say, oh, not directly, but we see this kind of concerns. And you should explain for the people what it is, because still, especially at the beginning of the chatbot, even if you develop super smart algorithms, you still need people who will train it, who will monitor it, and it's not monitored on trained just by developers. It's really the people who are in the support, the people who are the sales and marketing, and in this case, you should really work in close relationship with them. Then we also use one cool tool, which is the UX expressive. Do you know? Someone know that tool? Okay, I will. Okay. So this is the screenshot where for what we use the tool. It's to draw customer journey, each step. What are the objectives? What are the KPIs? What are the steps? And it's the interactive tool. Try to also to switch. Yeah. So you can define each tool, and this is the good tool to present the project for all project team and understand what happens in each step of what project. Okay, let's go to the design and prototyping. So this is always challenging where to start with the design, and we come to actually one very simple solution. When you start to design your chatbot, first of all, just draw straightforward flow, ideal flow, without the what if, and then we come back to the goal. What are the goal? If you build a chatbot and the user comes to your chatbot and start interaction, my question will be, what you expect him to do on your chatbot? And you should then explain, ideally, this user will do that, and he will get that result. Because as I said, this is not these days the artificial intelligence which will figure out, but you should actually, at the first versions of the chatbot, say, we expect that users come to the chatbot and they will do this. This is the ideal flow. And then we come to the next step. Then we come to, okay, but there could be also another possible flows or ways, and let's draw them too. And then we go to the more detailed flow. In the chatbot, there are some important things which you should design already in design part, and one of them are the fallbacks, which means that what to do if bot do not know or didn't understand what user asks. So you should always design what are the sorry answers and how to manage with them. Because in the chatbot, you should understand there is no, by standard, the undo or the back functionality. So the next step, when you have the flow, then you can use in the chat the images, GIFs, and videos. Why? The reason is that it's the text, and if it will be too long in your flow, then you will just find out that users do not read and they don't understand. So with the images, you can really explain more in details what it is, and that's why we also use an icons in our chatbots to explain what it is. With the chatbot projects, we found out that there is new team member needed, and it's a copywriter, because for the apps and also for the websites, there is a different type of how you produce the texts for the for these apps. But for the chatbots, it's really challenging to put things short. In the same time, the people and users should understand what you are writing. And of course, in the chatbot, you should keep it short and simple. So when you start to design things, then when the first design mockups got, I was just the design mockups are ready. Then just test with your focus group, and these are the friends, fools, and family. So it's the easiest way where you can ask just, is it clear for you? Do you understand what's for, what it says, and always validate text, because when you build something, it's absolutely clear for you, but for the users, they don't just get it, and if they don't get it, they will leave them your bot in 1 second. Another important thing, what we learned out of our project is that we still need to offer human takeover. If you explain at the beginning that this is the virtual assistant, then users are okay with that. But in some cases, they need this red button. Oh, I need to talk with the real human. And at the moment in our chatbot, we do not offer live chat functionality. But what we offer send the notification to the administrator or to the human that you need help with something specific, and then they will come to the live chat and they will join and help it. So and this really increase user satisfaction in our projects. Then another thing is still users today are also using the apps, and they know how to use the apps. And there is some elements in the chatbots which these days are not good solved. And one of the best examples are the date. So if a user would like to plan appointment for next month in a specific date, then of course you can type, I would like to meet on that specific date, but it's not so easy. It takes time. There could be the typos and etc. And for that, you can implement a bot, and I will also show this in a small demo, where you can really implement webviews in the chatbot, and then users can really use the chatbot classical text input as the way how they communicate directly with the chatbot. And for some specific tasks, selection sliders, you can really implement web views which are authorized by specific user, and they then user experience are more and more experienced. And then we can go also for some tools. There was many tools, but we personally use one tool, which is the mindmap.com for the flow, and I can show you. So this is the one chatbot flow, and what I like with this tool specific, so I can really to see what are the structure and what are the flow behind the chatbot, because we can model what are the possible routes or the ways, and then we can easily draw it and link together. When this is ready, so this is also a good tool when you can show people what are the logic behind it. And the next step, we use another tool, which is the Bot Society. This is a mockup maker tool where you can easily to go to your mockup, and then this is the end, and then you can just add, let's say, one of the chatbot elements. Hello. So, and then you can say, this is bot say something, users say something. Bot say something, and there is a, specifically this is for the Facebook Messenger, it supports all Facebook Messenger design elements. So you can really, really fast mock up your chatbot. It really helps for us to explain also for the developers how this should look like. And for the end users, there is another tool when you can really play the the flow, how it looks like from the beginning. This is hello, I'm the Sharif Hackathon virtual assistant, and this is the tool where you can really show them simulate all the flow. This tool, it's free for one mockup, so you can really use it for free. If you would like to work on team with that, then you can also work with team, write comments on that, and you can also, if necessary, export this this video as the GIF or MP4 video clips. So it's also good to implement in your presentations, meetings, just to explain how the bot will look like. And this helps also for in development process to be quite precise. What should bot do? How much time? What should be interactions? And it helps a lot to avoid. I thought that, and then we got that, and let's change it that. So this is the another tool which we use and find it very well. With this tool, you can also mock up Slack bots. You can mock up Google Home Assistant flows. So it's universal tool for designing and prototyping your bots. So this is the flow, and this is the okay. Then we come to the building. So, and at that moment, I'd like to talk about more about the frameworks and the platforms. So there are the two things. So what you can do, it's you can use the frameworks, which is really the tools for developers. When you have a more or less freedom what you build, but still there is some limitations because someone is behind that frameworks. And then there is the platforms. I will not show today the platforms like the Chatfuel, ManyChat, and others, which are actually what they promise. They promise you can build your chatbot without the coding, and I think it's not purpose of today to talk about the constructors where you can use drag and drop. In the same time, sometimes we use these tools when the recorded mockup is not enough, and someone would like to touch this prototype. Then we use these small chat building platforms to just build something very, very simple and give to end user to try it and to test it. But all our chatbots, we use our custom bot platform for that. Then there is a lot of different type of libraries for different type of tasks, starting from language processing, translation, image recognition, and etc. So there was a lot of libraries which you can use to build your bot faster, and it also depends what are the goals and objectives on your chatbot project. What are another important thing if we come to deployment and the scalability? it's another. It can be that there is few users for your chatbot, and if it's a big success, then you can really. It could be really challenging if there is a big usage. There was today just this game on for the dev day, and also there was in short moment there was a lot of users, and then system just fall downs. In our case, we use Azure to deploy our chatbot platform. We also use API.ai for specific natural language processing tasks. But mainly we build our chatbots on Python and Django framework. So this is what we use technically to build the chatbots. So if we come to the bot landscape, then so there is the different tools, as I said, for natural language processing, for machine learning, for speech and voice recognition. So you can use different libraries as you wish. There was mainly there is a good tool for .NET, Python, and also for Java. So what we found, but these days I would say every day new tool, new platform, new library pops up in the market. So I would say there is the big choice today. What kind of libraries you can use. Regarding the channels, as I said at the beginning, today most biggest platform in the world is the Facebook Messenger, where we build our chatbots, and we see it's really good. A good platform, because also the Facebook do a lot to promote that platform and to get users on the chatbots. They implement different type of tools and libraries and APIs just to how to attract and get users on your chatbots. So if we come back to the platforms which we tested, the two platforms. One is the Microsoft Bot Framework, and what are the good thing about this specific platform? It's mainly it uses .NET and Node.js. What we liked about this solution from Microsoft, this is the bot framework. This is the bot connector. So you can build bots on that framework. Then you can use bot connector to connect to different channels. So there is no need then on your side to build all the APIs and communication with different platforms. And then they have an extensive cognitive services, starting from LUIS, which is natural language processing engine, and then there is the image recognition, translation. So these are really good libraries to build. It's open sourced on GitHub, so it's good framework to build. The reason why we used the Python and own way to do the things. We started last year in the May, and also then the Microsoft framework was something new, and we saw that with by that time there was some of the lack of the functionality which we are looking for, and we decide, okay, let's build our bot logic in Python, and then we can use for specific tasks different libraries. So, and today we use the Google Dialogflow. Previously it was api.ai. We use this service specifically for natural language processing and also for machine learning, because of course we cannot build everything ourselves, and these are the good tool. And of course, when you use the Google Cloud services, they also have the natural language processing, translation, and a lot of different type of APIs, which you can then implement in your bot frameworks. We did some tests on the IBM Watson and Vit.ai, but I cannot comment in more details on these specific frameworks. So as I said, we mainly use for our projects Python, but you can use actually any programming language for your bot logic, and then you can select specific tool which you can use to process the user inputs, to recognize user intent, and also to then generate the answers. Another interesting thing is regarding the machine learning. For that we use Spicy. Probably some of you know that one. This is the open source natural language engine and a machine learning engine. So we use specifically that tools to maintain our machine learning mechanisms, because this is one of the, actually not the code or the value of the bot. The value of the bot are the data and this machine learning produced product or information, and that's why we try to keep it in-house. Okay, so regarding the development process, what are the tips and tricks? User makes mistakes for different reasons, and one of the most recent things are the typos, and this is the tricky part, how to handle them when you develop the bot logic, because user just makes some silly stupid typo and bot doesn't answer. So, oh yeah, but it's easy, it's clear, and it's shit bot, and I don't like it. And this is where you can really analyze the what users think, and you can to handle this and increase user satisfaction and user experience. Then another really interesting, we didn't realize at the beginning this will be the challenge, but this is the multi-line handling. So normally when you talk with your friends, you don't type a message in one not in one line or one bubble. You type something, then enter, then you type another thing, enter, and actually it's three bubbles, but it's one context, and it's from development perspective, it's really challenging to understand, are these three bubbles three separate messages, or are these three bubbles connected, and how to extract or split or merge these things. So there are different techniques what we use, especially when user asks the question. We can ask, would you like to add something, and then you can continue. But these are other challenges where we see where the disappointment comes from, because you say hello something, and then so this is another challenge is what's important to predict and to improve user experience. User profiling and contextual memory. This what is easy for us. It's for the humans, I mean, then it's not easy sometimes for the chatbot and for the bot builders. So if user gives sometimes one information or one piece of information, then he expects that bot will remember that forever, and it's true. And this is where we come back to what are your ideal flow, because when you ask something at the beginning in the flow, then you can use or reuse that information at the end or in the middle of the flow without asking for the user the email. So I can go to the phone. I can show a short. Let's do it like that. In the same, okay, in the Mercedes chatbot case. So as I said, so in this case, there was just a selection of the parameters. So what the bot do, you select the different parameters. It say, okay, this is your car, and then you can send it to the email. I guess that. And then this is the simple thing, but it will just, would you like to subscribe for the news? And it will not ask in this case for the additional email. What is interesting was this bot. So I will start once again. That together with the customer we solved the question or the problem how to handle. So imagine this is, you are right now in the flow, and the user can do whatever he can say. I need something, let's say. And in this case, he can write whatever. The bot always go back to the flow. Oh, I can start. So I can select in this case. Yes. Yes. It's a true case. It's ongoing. It's yes. Yes, it's a good question. I cannot share with you the numbers, but numbers are good. And it's I mean the usage numbers. But in the same time, it's a bit it's just a new thing. It's a kind of experiment, and in the same time, you should understand a different thing. What is the important with the chatbot in general, specifically on Facebook Messenger? When you build your car with that thing, imagine, then the next step is that the bot can propose you, okay, let's plan and the test drive, because there is a simple 3 questions, and it catches just your interest. It's not super long, 100 questions. It just catch your interest, and this is the interesting part. What we learned about the chatbots, because then you can really continue the conversation on the flow, which is really customized for specific user, on what you select, what are your language preferences, how far you was in the process. And this is a different process. I agree you will not buy the car to the chatbot, but what chatbot can do, he can make the interest for you about this specific car. And yesterday I was in an event and Procter & Gamble, and we pitched them interesting chatbot, which is you can buy the detergent to the chatbot. You give them your washing habits. So how big is your family? What are your washing habits? It used the prediction formula and say, based on how you are acting, you need the next product in 5, 7, or whatever days. And this is where the conversation starts. And I can agree that there are different people who will say, I will never do the car sales with the messenger. But if you will go, look back in 5, even probably 10 years, what people said about the apps, I will never do this on apps. It's more easy to do it in life, right? This is what happened. And these days we see that people buy even the cars through the apps. It depends. It's a new car or it's the used car. It's a different question. But the thing is if you build a good user experience and you can catch their attention within that channel, then you can get the result which you really expect. So this is my answer to your question. So it's that then the way how you can get new customer. It's not direct sales channel at the moment. There can I agree with you definitely. Did I answer the question? Okay. Yes. Yes. So there was for others. There was, so in this case, you said that the bot just filter people and save human resources. This is what you said, right? So, but if you start calculate how much it costs for the companies to filter people, right people, and save resources on that thing, this is where the value comes of the bot for the company, and also for the end user. So. We see the value. We have some learnings, and we will. I think in the next coming meetups we will also make case study and we will explain a bit more what are the learnings about this, because this is ongoing campaign and we cannot right now first of all disclose some information and there is no full picture. It's just in the middle right now, but it's already good usage in numbers in that specific case. So yes, it's new thing, but it works. And if you really have defined at the beginning what are the objective and what you expect at the end of bot conversation, then you also build for that specific objective. And this is what we did in that project. Okay, so user profiling and contextual memory, it's another important thing to do when you develop the bot. Then there is another thing important, which is the defaults and avoid repetition. And then we can come to the, let's say, back to the dev day bot, and here we can say hi, hello, and hi. So it's simply to do actually, but it's important that if even you know it's a robot or it's an algorithm, for normal user I would say if he forgot that it's a robot, and you can, by doing these simple things specifically for these defaults, you can really help people to feel a bit they really talk with some things. There was a really challenging problem that the customer asked for us, hey Karlis, we have a problem that your bot answered too fast. And what you can do, because normally people cannot type answers so fast, and your bot answers so fast that people say, oh, it's too fast. And then we think, okay, we need to split and put pauses between, but it also could be the challenge. Another thing regarding it's what are the specific with the chatbots, it's undo and back. So there is actually no, by standard, the back functionality. So when you go in the flow, you go. and then you so I don't like it. I'd like to go back, and this was actually the user stuck somewhere for different reasons, by mistake, by just curiosity, and etc. And then we see he's stuck there and he don't know how to reinitiate the conversation. And that's why we implement this quick reply buttons, the home, which is like the way how you can start the conversation again. And if you need, you can later I can show you in the dev day. So let's say the networking, and this is the one example ample. So when your company, I create my bot. So I start to fill the form, and then I decide, oh, I need to go to the main menu, because it really happens. People do like that. They just they got the phone call. They are busy with other things, and then they return to the bot. They go back to the networking. So, and if you look in this time, last time when I finished the flow, I was in the in job title. So if I right now give here, so I can continue work on that specific form, but then can I interact, and the process is still open. This is also the challenging. Otherwise, if people are filling the form with 7 questions, and then something happens, battery is out, and he comes back and he finds out, oh, I need to enter the same information again. It's a bad experience. I don't like it. And so this is also a challenging part to implement. Then we come to the mixed interface and webviews. I already talked about a bit, and there is a good example. It's really popular bot. It's the bots an app. And this is a good example of how app can be extended by a bot. So it's what this app bot do. You make two pictures. You are in the shop. You take the pictures of two dresses, let's say, and you ask your friends in the app which you prefer, and then your friends say, okay, this is the right one. That's it. And what these guys did, they had an app, and then they developed the bot. And here I can show you. So it's the bot. So I can create the swell about something. And but I will show directly the profile. And this is where the webviews come in. So if you would like to update your profile, then you can use and implement in your bot such the webview, which is mobile optimized. But what is important in this case, this webview, it's authorized. So it's not just a webview, just a website, but it's through the Facebook API. It's really authorized, and you can really see which user are on that specific webview, and that means you can do something in the classical web chat, and then you can switch to the webview, do some things on the webview, and come back to the specifically to the bot. Okay. So the last thing is about the testing. So here, what I can say at the beginning, when you build a bot, the log all what's possible, because you can later use these logs to learn, to understand what works and what doesn't. So the test simple flow, and we use this lean approach. We build, test, learn, and improve. And as I showed, be ready for unexpected actions from the users. So even if there is open form, something can happen. He just received a call, there is another important thing, he switched, and then you can understand what happens when he returns to the bot. Another interesting challenge, what we found out, is that there is still old versions of Messenger on user's phone, and it's a different experience, and you should also to take it in account. Of course, always you develop some things on latest version, but this could be the challenging. And another interesting challenge is that there's different screen size. So and the bot looks differently on the big and also on the smaller screens, and this could change the user experience. So in the market, so there is what we do. We analyze every chat flow, and we analyze specifically all the user inputs. So all what user types, we log every interaction, and later we can reuse it to understand how to improve user experience. And of course, the usage statistics of each interaction point, how much users, how much messages, and how much clicks, it gives you understanding what works in the bot and what doesn't. There is a lot, I would say, these days tools in the market. There is one of companies, UX Probe. It's a company from the Belgium who offers specific analytics specifically for the chatbots. And there is the dashbot. There is the tool right now, free tool from the Google, who offers implement their analytics in your chatbot, and then you can get all the insights about your chatbot to this tool. And then also it's good to ask for the users at the end of the conversation what they think about the chatbot, about their experience in the bot. Okay. And the last thing, I am a bit out of the time, so I will really to finalize on the chatbot technology trends and challenges in 2018. So the first, we see more that there is more and more bots which are like just to click on the things and to get things done. And since Messenger platform version 1.4, there is an ability to turn off free form info for the user. So this is a specific case. Then is the question: is this a chatbot? But still, you can really build the bot when users can interact with the bot, and you don't give them the ability to type. It means you really predict what are the flow, but if it's built properly, then it's do the thing, and users can benefit from that one. Another really challenging thing is multi-language support. There is a good libraries in English, but if we come to the other languages, also in the French, Dutch, and other languages, then there is a lot to do. And actually, this is the big opportunity these days for the startups and for developers to develop these local languages, solutions, and libraries for the bot builders. Then, still, every day there's new bot platform, new library popping up, and it's really challenging to understand which platform is right to build the bots, and so you should make decisions and work on that specific technology. And for me, there is no right answer on which is the best technology. And security, privacy, and the trolls, as this solution comes more and more popular. For example, Facebook already implement that starting from May 2017, each message sent from the bot should have a tag, which means that you should say to the Facebook what kind of message you send to their platform. These days, actually, it's quite open rules. You can send to users also spam to be honest, you can do not whatever you want, but there is kind of freedom. But Facebook see that thing, and they already implement really stronger measures to fight against it, because they really try to keep this channel clean and keep users' privacy. So, and the last thing, it's really interesting that chatbots these days are not just the messaging things, but it's also voice. It's also gestures. It could be Internet of Things, IoT, interfaces where you can build really cool and new way how user interact with the machines and with each others. Okay, so I believe that in today and also in the future, so our communication will be better, and it will be powered by artificial intelligence and also by the chatbots. And the interfaces will be different. It could be the voice, it could be text, it could be other interfaces. And to make it properly, we should plan how we do that, who are our customer. We should prototype, we should build, test, and then I think the user experience will be better, and everybody will be happier. So let's build great chatbots, and let's build future together. Thank you very much.